It's 7:20.
You're waking up with Al Ferraby on CFAX 1070.
Is it just me, Hazer, or have we not had a Shamrocks lacrosse game here in town in at least a little while?
It's been a little while, but it's been a nice break for coaches, players, and maybe not the fans, but no, it's been a nice break for a lot of the players just to kind of get geared up for the last half of the season. So it was a welcome rest for sure.
No kidding, because I mean it's a season that is very intense. We're talking about Bob Hayes, by the way. He's the coach of the Victoria Shamrocks. So I like the bounce back game that was in Langley this week, 15-6 over Langley, and I'm kind of guessing you're pleased with that as well.
It is. It's they're at bottom of the table right now, so it's tough sometimes. You go into a game when it's a team that's maybe not as good. So, but we played really well. We had some new little tweaks to our game we wanted to work on, and it worked well. And Langley actually put up a really good game for a couple of periods, and we had to really bear down in the third to find our game, and it was good. So Langley came out and played us really well, which was good. And tonight's game against Coquitlam is going to be a tough game. They're a young team, and those teams are always tough to play against. They run and they don't give up. They were down early last night against New West 5-1, and they fought back and kept going till the final buzzer. So they don't know any better. They're a young team, so they'll come in and raring to go to play us tonight.
There's something too about the history between the Shamrocks and Admax too, right? It's a long rivalry, shall we say?
It was when I was playing. We usually were a step behind New West. They were always dominating the league, so we always had the big battles as the second place teams with Coquitlam, and I can remember many battles. My first playoff series, we had guys going into the stands fighting and right on the slap shot. So
back in the day,
back in the day. So it's lots of fond memories against Coquitlam for sure. Always good games.
Fighting in the stands, man. Oh, that's allowed anymore, is it?
Better not,
Yeah, that's right, man. Oh, man. Tell me how you work with your lineup, because I mean, there are players for various reasons coming and going for personal things. How do you, as a coach, adjust to that?
It can be difficult. Jesse King, who has a commitment of first he had to finish his schooling in Ohio State, and then he also committed to play some pro field lacrosse in Rochester. So we're juggling his schedule, and then every time he's in our lineup, it's something that makes us a much better team. But he won't be in the lineup tonight. But it really gives the rest of our guys who maybe don't get to see the lineup every night a time to kind of show what they can do and really get ready. For us this year to get to the playoffs and into the playoffs, we're going to rely on everybody for sure. It's going to take a full 25-man roster to get the same success we had last year. So it is a juggling, but it's nice because you keep the guys a little bit hungry, and we've just really finalized our roster with our last couple of trades and stuff. So we're starting to get that competitiveness now. Everybody's healthy, so it's tough when you got to sit guys who've been there for the first half of the season, been playing every game, and now they don't get to play sometimes. But you need to be deep, and I've always had to fight, kind of challenge the guys with that. You may not see the floor all the time, but when we need you got to be ready, and they thrive on that.
I was wondering how you keep them motivated. Your time will come type of approach, but I guess that's part of the challenges of being a coach, isn't it?
It is, yeah, no, and it is a tough thing. And myself, when I was playing, I was a backup goaltender, so I was always just keeping myself, getting as many shots as I could, and doing what you have to do to make sure that you're ready, because you're the other 24 guys on your team and the coaches and everybody else are counting on you to do your job when you get in there. So you got to make the most of your opportunities. So it is tough, but it's part of when you play at this level. You've got to take the whole process into consideration.
And then you got to worry about the chemistry of the group that you have on the floor. And I'm kind of guessing, tell me, is lacrosse a game that you can just sort of have players come in and out, or do you truly need that chemistry to make it really go and win a Mann Cup?
I think we proved last year that we had a roster that that. We had guys in and out of the lineup, and we still did very well. I think lacrosse is a game where we play different systems. Offense and defense play very, their own job. They don't have to play the full floor. And when you get to this level, I think a lot of guys can really fit into the different systems. Defensively, I think the guys have to learn a bit more. It's a little tougher on the defensive guys, but that's when we rely on a coaching staff and a lot of the players, the veteran guys, of leading the way and showing the young kids how to play the systems and that. So we've had a pretty much intact roster this year, which has been good. So it's like I said, it's nice, but it is different than last year for sure.
Right, we're talking to Bob Hayes, coach of the Victoria Shamrocks, taking on Coquitlam tonight. And man, I'm kind of looking at it. It's been a few weeks between home wins too, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So it's time, isn't it?
I know. We'll be hungry tonight. We didn't have our best game, our last home game against New West. So we'll, Coquitlam, like I said, is going to come with a high energy game, and we have to be ready for that right off the bat, and then really play our game. We know they're going to work hard, and we have to match that work level, and really go from there. I think stay disciplined and maybe score one more goal than them. That's all we need to do.
It all takes is just one. That's
one
right.
More than them, yeah.
That's it. All right, Bob. Thanks for this. We'll see you on the floor tonight. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, Bob Hayes, coach of the Victoria Shamrocks. It's Coquitlam. It's the Q Center, 7:45, and Duffy will have more on that with sports coming up in just a moment.